I don't know, like the NFT itself is not going to be functioning the same as on Cardano, because on Cardano you can just look at the asset IDs or look at project IDs and then do a search.
Hello, and thank you for joining our Fireside Chats with founders at the European Cardano community. I am Marcus, one of the core team members, and if you like what we are doing, please consider supporting our individual projects. You will find the links to our guests and our projects below the video. Please give us a thumbs up, follow us by hitting the bell icon, and let's enjoy this session.
Hello. Welcome everybody to another appointment with our Fireside Chat /Town Hall. We are so happy to be here again in 2025. We don't see each other for quite a long time due to the Christmas vacation, but everybody needs it. So, well, nice to have you guys. We have very nice guests today. But first of all, I need to click in my screen, and we have our mantra. This is the same mantra that we normally use in the global town hall that is online every Wednesday, but we made things a little bit more complicated, translating each line in a different language in the European Union. So what we want to do usually is to ask everybody from the attendance, from the guests, to read one line. They take it randomly. Don't be shy, because we don't need to be shy here. We are between friends. And because I'm the only Italian in the room, I will start with the first line. So everybody else, feel free to get the second one. Benvenuti all'esperimento.
Les choses peuvent.
I can't speak Portuguese, but Kibra?
Yeah, cool.
Now, Robert, this is your part now.
The second
After Quebra.
Okay.
Yes.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you can do the next one. I will do that with my fantastic German then. Verlände Dokumentation.
Who speaks English?
I don't.
Me neither.
Right.
Differ greatly between iterations.
That was a great one. Thank you.
Awesome. Disorient, overload, and inspire.
Yes. Our goal is to provide an effortless and lively environment for you to explore the highest potential della collaborazione umana.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I really enjoyed doing that. But after this, we have our specific mantra. This is something that we are very proud of it. Marcus wrote it, and I think it's very important. The points here are really on point. Sorry for the joke. So who wants to read it? Marcus, I think we don't have Derek here with us, so I think it's you.
Yeah. Keep your notes up to date. Highly encouraged to update to node version 10.1, 0.4, because there's some critical patches.
Otherwise, we can get catastrophic results, guys. We don't want catastrophic results.
Actually, yes. It's really critical, actually, in this time. So, try to study or learn something new every day. That's what we're here for. Support and connect with community members for synergies and goals. We try to connect founders and visionaries. Be inclusive, friendly, and wise with words, even in anger. And share information without destroying dreams, people, or the reputation. Welcome to the Cardano community, and welcome to the European Cardano community. Thank you. So,
nice job.
On the node behalf, there were voices that Mike Hornan, who discovered the bug in the node, should get a bug bounty, and why there isn't one. CF actually has a bug bounty, and everybody who's ready can participate in it. We reposted it with our account already. The link is here. So if you have found a bug and you're interested in the bug bounty and it's on mainnet, contact CF via this form and don't make a public post. That's the strategy that they're following at the moment. For everybody who's delegating to a pool, make sure that you delegate also to a DREP. For example, with Eternal, you can do that easily. That's my favorite wallet. So I don't know exactly about the other wallets, how they do that, but probably as easy as well. Because if you don't delegate to a DREP, you won't be able to withdraw your rewards after the hard fork. However, if you have forgotten that, you still can always delegate to a DREP and then withdraw your rewards right away. So there's no delay. You don't need to fret. And there's an interesting one at the moment. SPOs are trying to crash the Sanchonet on testnet, basically, because Martin initiated a hard fork to PV 11.0. So everybody needs to vote for that fork, and then the network will crash. So it is the idea to do that. They want to really go to the extreme this time, and we're looking forward to it. With that, let's go further.
Yes, but I think you did right to say that. I think it's very important. Thank you, Marcus. So we want to also to remind that we host regular or almost regular Twitter spaces in many different languages in the European Union. So we have now the most frequent one is the German one. We are very proud of our guy Mark. Marcus is very good. We also do Italians one. We'll start with the next one probably in a couple of weeks. I try to grab my co-hosts after the holidays. You know that we in Italy we eat very much, so it's difficult to get back to work. We had Spanish one, we had the Greek ones very constantly, and we would like to expand our reach. So if you know anybody that want to host a Twitter space with in another language, Dutch, for example, think, you can just get in touch with us and we'll make it happen. There is a very small compensation, a symbolic compensation in the EDA for the hosts, but it's important to increase our reach and expand our community. So please, if you want to do that, get in touch with any other team members and that will happen. Thank you.
You don't need to be an expert to host a space. I mean, you need to get along with Twitter, X, and its features. But other than that, you don't need to be an expert. You just need to have the passion or certain questions and be willing to guide the community that is joining the space through that hour. And usually the hour flies by. Everybody who ever held a space probably can confirm that. Is flying by faster than you could imagine. So with that,
let's go.
Do we have updates on the European Cardano community? We have requested a change request for the Catalyst proposal, which is currently in review. The odds are looking good, if I may say so. And after that, we will have a prolonged proposal time or execution time until April-ish. And so we're happy with that. And if there will be any leftovers, then we will be happy to continue anyways, but that will support us as well. And yeah, to the link to the projects, you find them all down below the video. So for Mynth, Squeak, ADA handle, everybody's there, and don't be shy, contact them. The way how we do this is for you new joiners. We give you about 2 to 3 minutes to give a little bit of a wrap up of your current status of the project. And then we dive into the conversation after that, basically. So it's going to be in the order that Davide gives out. And then each one of you has about 2 to 3 minutes. Then we change. So everybody is on the page, which founder is talking here. And then we head into the conversation, and you're happy to connect all the dots to your project back again and forth again. So maybe you find synergies between the three of you.
Well said. Well said. So let's start with the first one. Our friend for Mynth. It's not the first time you are with us, and it's always a pleasure to have you and to have your insight. Please take it away.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. Yes, so Mynth, we are a cross-chain swap platform in essence. So we allow any token to any token on any network. and we've been building on Cardano for the past 2 years now. And we are getting ready for the more established launch. We have our IDO in 2 weeks now, and we are doing a multi-chain launch on 4 different launch pads across 9 different blockchains. Cardano is one of them, of course, and then we have a few EVM-based chains: Solana, Ton, Tron, and we're just going all out. And by the end of this year, by the end of 2025, we want to integrate with 25 blockchains. So for the past 2 years, we've just been building out our foundation. We have a few users that are using the product every day. And now we are ready to scale out the project and onboard more users. We work a bit differently than other projects. We're more of a B2B, which means we work with other developers. And so this is really going to help catapult us for scaling. It's taking us a while to get to this stage, but now that we're at this stage and we're onboarding new developers who are building on top of Mynth, it will hopefully bring more users, and ultimately our goal is to make it so that crypto no longer feels like crypto when people are just having balances in their wallets and they don't even have to think about what blockchain the asset is on. They can just swap between the different blockchains. So that is us in a nutshell.
Very, very nice. Thank you. So let's go to the next guest, Squeak. Very nice to have you here. Tell us about your project.
Exactly. You need to pitch higher.
I need to I need to pitch like this. No, I'm not gonna do that. So my name's Dave, and Squeak is my project. It's a 3-way project, which means we have a meme coin. We're gonna mint our PFP collection on the 20th of January, and we are building a brand behind Squeak because close to everything is squeaking. That means our goal is to have this meme coin going, which is already going since July last year. Now get the PFP collection, which gives our community an identity. The PFP Mint fund, so what we earn will fully be invested in a passive income fund, and that means it will work for the community on various different levels: mining, deepin, forex trading, liquidity farming. So Mynth, there is possibilities that if you got good liquidity farms, that we definitely gonna join your efforts. And the revenue of these fund will stabilize the ecosystem while we develop the brand behind Squeak, which is our clear vision that the Cardano community, when they see something cute, they will squeak. That's the thing. You will want to squeak when you see something cute. That's Squeak! I just love to do it.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you. Where are you from?
From Germany.
Perfect.
I'm based in Germany. We were in Italy on Gardasee last year for holidays.
Okay.
That is the proof that we have humor here.
The German humor.
Yeah.
High-pitched squeaking. No.
And then we have, well, everybody knows Eda Handel, guys. It's one of the first NFTs on Cardano with a real utility. You managed to have a great, simple idea that, but tell us about that, please.
Of course. Hey guys, I'm Goose. Sorry I couldn't get my mic working. But just want to thank you, Marcus, and thank you, David, so much for bringing this on here. It's also really nice to meet you guys, Mynth and Squeak. Right, so Eda Handel at a bird's eye view is an NFT-based naming convention on Cardano. It is based as an NFT because we initially always wanted our users to own their identity in perpetuity. So there is no subscription-based naming convention. It is a buy one, own forever solution. It's been that way from the start and will continue being that way. Since then, we've produced a number of features that build onto the functionality that Eda Handel provides. We've built authentication. We've built personalization. we just launched subhandles a few months ago. Currently, we're working on finishing up our Catalyst proposals that we're funded for in Handle Marketplace, Handle Communication, which is a comms layer based off of handles. And then lastly, our decentralized minting engine in order to completely decentralize the protocol itself. And yeah, that's just a quick wrap up of who we are and what we're doing.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much. It was short and precise. Want to remember that I was the guy that built the Unity component for accessing ADA handles APIs at the time. Maybe Conrad remembers that.
Conrad definitely remembers that. I think that's how we made the connection. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I can do the same for the Godot engine now that I switched to the in-game engine. But we'll see about that in the future.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
APIs are definitely the thing currently, right? I mean, Robert, you also provide an API to trade or to swap, and the subhandles, the API is in the works if I'm right. So yeah, I think it's going to be one of these years where this is a focus.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. We have an API for existing handles, like root handles, that allow people, to access different parts of the handle structure. But for subhandles, yes, we're still building out the API component for that.
Cool.
I think it's an incredibly interesting
Mm-hmm.
use case for companies to use them. Can you go a little bit deeper into that? And the second question is, are you also considering to expand from Cardano to other ecosystems? I mean, it makes the pitch used to be ADA handle, now it's handle, I think. Is that correct?
Yes. I mean, I think we are trying to move, at least branding perspective, from ADA handle to handle, as to, like you had just asked the question, as to not sort of cement ourselves into one community. But the problem exists all the same, no matter what chain we're trying to expand to, is that naming conventions are really hard to bridge. Especially if the chain we're trying to expand to already has their own naming convention. Because how do you have a Cardano native asset that represents you, and then go bridge that to a chain that has almost no familiar parts to it whatsoever, and to build a similar token that will be owned by the user in perpetuity, and do that at no cost. So it's a tough business decision, and tough technical problem to try and figure out. But the answer is, we don't have it on our immediate roadmaps. There's so many awesome things that we can build on Cardano, and so we're focused specifically on bringing products to Cardano. That the conversation, which we've had multiple times, do we go to Bitcoin with ordinals? Do we expand to EVM chains, Solana, etc.? Those conversations have all been taken serious, and we've considered all of them. But I think for the foreseeable future, focusing on end user products that are for Cardano is our main goal for now. And I believe, did you ask a question about subhandles?
Yes, but I just had the other question is, wouldn't that be a use case to collaborate with Mynth, for example? I don't know.
For sure. Like, if it all depends too on, like, so for instance, for example, I can't remember, DC Spark was building an NFT or Milkamada. They were building Milkamada, and they were going to have an NFT compatible bridge between Cardano and Milkamada. And if Milkamada or any other L2 can maintain the same standards that Cardano can, with SIP25 and SIP66, like, then that makes it really easy for us, and then it doesn't become a big engineering hassle that takes away from the current products that we're trying to build. and trying to relegate resources or delegate resources to things that that we may or may not have resources for.
Mm-hmm.
So the short answer is it depends. It depends if it's easy for us. If like for example, if Mynth enables us to do something like that, and it's easy and it's pretty simple, then we would love to. I mean, as much as we can do for our community, and our community wants that, then we'll make it happen. But if it ends up being an effort that like I said, takes up too much resources, then it might not be something that's directly on our roadmap.
Robert?
I think like the bridging itself, I don't think is that problematic. Like that's really straightforward, and there are lots of bridges to bring NFTs to other ecosystems. I think the point that he was making in the beginning was the difference in the naming standards. That's going to be the hard part to have be interoperable, because just because you have a token, say on Polygon, doesn't mean you can really connect it the same way that it works on Cardano. So like the bridging is easy, right? That's solvable, but I don't know, like the NFT itself is not going to be functioning the same as on Cardano, because on Cardano you can just look at the asset IDs, or look at policy IDs and then do a search and find that UTXO, and then when you have the UTXO you have the address. I don't know how that would work on an accounting based model. So like just because you have that NFT in your wallet doesn't mean that you can send it, and then you have to get all the buy-in support from all the wallets like MetaMask and Rabbi and Phantom, and like, so I think yes, we can help with interoperability, but that's probably the least of the worries of like actually bringing a naming solution to multiple blockchains.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
I think with ADA handle, it gets even more complex, because you got already all these customizations you can integrate into your handle. Like that is what I'm looking at as a brand mostly, that maybe I can provide in time some custom handle background and whatever, and then bridging all this together. Probably
Yeah,
even the
point.
bridging is still possible, but have it combined and whatever might be tricky, right?
Yeah, that's a good point, because like you can bridge the token, right? But like with ADA handles, it's actually a token and then a UTXO with all the metadata essentially. And so like what are you bridging? Do we bridge the UTXOs, or like, so yeah, that poses an interesting engineering problem. So I think because ADA handles is not just a token, it becomes quite difficult to bridge that over. Like we can bridge tokens, but like how do you bridge the whole solution over? That would require more engineering work.
Interesting.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on what Robert was saying, I mean this was the problem that we always ended up at eventually, was regardless of if we could even get onto an L2 or an entirely different L1, we always come back to the same, like, does that new handle in its representation on that L2 or L1 maintain the same benefits as it does on Cardano? Because on Cardano, it's treated as a native asset. There are certain lookup functionalities that may or may not work on this new L1 or L2, and so that it'll be an entirely different ecosystem basically, unless we brute force our build and try to make said L2 or L1 perform exactly like Cardano, which again brings me back to how much of a engineering resource depletion that would be. So it's like the closest I think we got was ordinals on Bitcoin, because as we know, like Bitcoin and Cardano both use the UTXO model, And so it made it a little easier, but there were still, some smart contract connections that would have had to be made between user and asset that, wouldn't have held the same attributes that it does on Cardano. And so it kind of stalled our efforts there. But yeah, Robert makes a good point again that the naming convention is likely the hardest part to convert or bridge.
Do you think, or then in other words, so you got the feedback that the community basically expects the same features on the other chain? Or because my assumption would have been that as every chain works a little bit different, people are just happy maybe with having a consistent brand over different chains. So just talking from the receiving address perspective is already a good thing. And then if you have them connected, maybe then just the opportunity to bridge between, like, using the NFT as sort of an anchor for bridging your assets between different wallets.
I can expand on that because I get what you're saying, Marcus. But I think like in this direction, you're almost creating two supplementary products. Like you have the ADA handles on Cardano, and then you have the handles brand on like Solana, but it's not the same, right? Because it would just be a new version of the business designed for Solana, and in that case there wouldn't be any bridging, because like another issue with bridging is like when you bridge your handle from Cardano to Solana, like usually you would lock it on Cardano, which means it's no longer functional on Cardano. So like a user probably doesn't want to bridge it, right? Because they probably want to use Solana and Cardano, not all. And so you probably would just have a handle on Cardano, handle on Solana, and they would work differently, and they won't necessarily have any overlap. So I think then you kind of get into the centralization issue that you have with ADA handles at the moment, where if you want like the same name, you have to centralize, like go through the central database. And I know on Cardano that's going to be decentralized in the near future, but then if you do a cross chain, like that's a whole new engineering problem to tackle. But yeah, it's an interesting idea, but also you have to figure out like, do users want this? Is there a demand? I think there's so much work to be done on Cardano that probably there's not a whole lot of demand for like a naming solution on Solana, because Solana already has something like ADA handles. Like they have .sol domains. Ethereum has .eth domains. So they have ENS. So like a lot of these other blockchains already have naming solutions. So probably Bitcoin would be more of a focus because they don't have a naming solution really. Probably you wouldn't want to go into markets that you already have competition.
Or collaborate with them somehow.
Yeah, or collaborate, yeah.
But the first thing that I remembered from ADA handle was, now you can receive your ADA to an easy address, and that would have been the primary USP. Yeah, but that's interesting. Cool. That's a lot to take in.
I was just a thought thrown in there. What would be a cool thing, maybe, but again, that's a question for demand, is if you have the ADA handle, my handle, have it cross-chain, and somebody on base sends something to the handle, that it automatically, maybe through Mynth, gets converted and dropped into my ADA wallet, because that way I would be able to just say, okay, I have a handle, an ADA handle, and it's functional for ADA on any chain. That would be cool, because I prefer to store a lot on ADA as it's my main thing, and then work in there. Just a throw in, but
yeah. So, well, that would be a really tough task to do, to transfer assets, trade assets. You need oracles, smart contracts that automate a ton of that, the groundwork there. But we already have in personalization the ability to manipulate your data set through the metadata and add, for instance, cross-chain wallet addresses. So like the actual receiving end of that's already there, but like building out, like I just said, the groundwork from, if I want to sell something on Base and then use my handle address sort of as the deposit, all of the interactions just need to be built, but the receiving end, the handles already have that. So it can be your deposit for cross-chain addresses, but the interactions to actually get assets from another chain transferred and then stored on Cardano is what still is the missing piece for what you just explained.
Yeah. Mynth, Robert, solve it.
Well, that's actually
I-
interesting because, like, when you point it like that, when the metadata is already in the UTXO, because Mynth is already on Cardano, when a user submits a swap request, like what we take from the user is just like, where's your destination, right? Like, so that can be a base Ethereum address, and there's no reason why we couldn't just say, hey, give us your ADA handle, and we do that lookup, and then we do the conversion ourselves. Like that's a more solvable thing. So like that we can do.
So we already have Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin addresses on our handles through personalization within the metadata. So again, I think, and that might be a part in our API already to be able to look that up. I'm in the 90% range that I'm pretty sure that's in the API already. And if it's not, we can spin that up.
Cool. Awesome. Do you have further questions? Just Mark, who is also here? Martin, no, Tex. Do you have questions? Don't be shy. Just unlock yourself. I know you want to squeak. I heard that.
Yeah.
Have you used ADA handles? Have you used Mynth? What is your experience with Squeak? Just be vocal about your thoughts. That's fine. There's no wrongdoing.
So I think Mark struggles with unmuting. Yeah. Mark, Iliana jetzt gerade nicht. Ich bin gerade in den Webcall noch. Mark is an OG member of the Squeak community. We actually met, I think, 2 years ago now on chain, and since then are like in regular conversations about everything, about life, about whatever there is. Mark actually grew dear to my heart, so I'm very happy that he's in here for various reasons. And if he's able to unmute, do it whenever, but he doesn't know how to. Yeah, it's
your community is incredibly engaged. I think this was one of the most liked reposted posts that we had so far. This was incredible. So, and I know it was not just bots. So it's all good.
some. Let's be honest. Right now, what I did is we have farm roll rolling to get some engagement on important tweets of our own, and I just took yours and placed it in there. Farm roll is an application on Cardano that does something like paid rates. And we have a subscription for a month. It's mainly people that engage because there's a reward for it. But we have a similar solution built for our internal community, which is on Discord through a bot that tracks your engagements with our tweets. And we actually run something similar to your giveaways there. So you get weekly points. Every Saturday we have a leaderboard, and this leaderboard depending on where you're placed. It's built in percentiles, so everyone gets something, but if you get the top, you get a roll, and the other one get lower rolls, and these rolls correlate to a drip multiplier in our Discord. That means that the community, and I wanted it that way because I know staying active over a longer time frame is exhausting. So I try to reward them. And what I did now is we have this drip. And if you get the highest roll, you actually can get up to I think right now it's 4 ADA per day drip. So it normally are just 1 to 3 people, depending on how many there are engaging with us right now, that get the highest roll. But these have a pretty good drip over a week. And you get credits. And these credits are for our in-Discord NFT store, where I basically, with the collaborations we did, for example, with Thesis and Dysmorphia, people know, with the Juke Boys, a very active community on Cardano. We also got 2 Tokyo passes in there. And these credits, you stack them over the months you engage with us, and in time can exchange them for these NFTs. So you basically, your engagement gets rewarded. And I think that's pretty fair for staying active with us, yes.
Yeah, I saw the farm roll bot in there, and I found it pretty good. So it sounds like you're happy with it.
With farm roll itself, I would be careful because these engagers are people that have no connection to your project. That is really just if you want to really highlight a tweet, because most of the engagers you get is LFG, okay, nice project, whatever. So it's actually
the one that you have with 15 characters minimum. That's
exactly that's the engage bot that we are using, and this one is really cool. So that is my own setup, my own idea with this leaderboard, and that one is really for the community, and they know what they post, and I can also give them some instructions like try not to mention Squeak, but really support what's going on there, because we used it on some Intersect posts, we used it on other communities to support them, just so because it's fun to do it together, actually. And the community enjoys it themselves to sometimes scroll through these tweets again and just see, okay, who is competing with me? It's an interesting interaction.
So this can be used in other Discords, because we are searching for something like for as well. And I was looking at it, and I saw that you mentioned, I didn't have the time to really dig deeper, but I saw that you mentioned that you can invite that to your own Discord. And I also was looking into affiliate links, and I know there was it was not Anastasia.
What I would recommend you, Marcus, we're going to do that together. I just interrupt you there. Is the promo Faces bot, because you don't tweet as much as us. You have singular relevant tweets over the week. This bot is great because it does all I do in one solution, but they are not yet able to scrape Twitter as good as the Engage bot, which makes it struggle if you throw in 20 tweets per day like I do of different communities and whatever there is. But I'm going to set this up with you. That's no issue. That's an awesome bot to do regular rewardings for the credits people have. Just whatever you want to do. And just track who is engaging and motivate the people for whatever idea you got.
Wonderful. That's cool. Awesome. Did you have a did you also check the affiliate one? But there was somebody in the ecosystem. I think she was from Brazil or Argentina, and she has put out an SPO affiliate program. I don't know if you guys remember it. And I think that's an interesting idea too, tracking basically who did affiliate link to your stake pool, and then reward that person, right? Basically, somehow adding a token to an affiliate link. I have no idea, but I think that is an interesting idea too. because then you can actually engage community members to say, okay, push forward, we grow together.
Spread the word, yes.
Yeah.
That's something I have not heard of this, but I believe that's something that crypto communities need to grow together. It's not for everyone. Like, I can totally relate that Mynth has an awesome branding with their, what is it? Is it a dragon? Is it a leaf, a running leaf? What do you call it?
Have the chameleons and then the
A
leaves.
chameleons. Nice. Has an awesome branding. But you just can't constantly post like a meme project. So we are easier to handle on that. I can just throw out anything right now. Once the brand actually is established, that will change too. But for now, it's just spreading awareness. And these solutions are really good with these Discord engagement systems. Yeah. And Promofaces has an awesome long-term vision, which I think the European Cardano committee can benefit from too. Yeah. To just get integrated with them too. Yeah.
Awesome. Goose, I'm just thinking out loud because I just got a little bit hooked about this affiliate thingy. Would it be thinkable to use your API to create basically an affiliate NFT that would be sent to a wallet that is newly delegated to a pool? Would that be worthwhile also from a fee perspective?
That's an interesting concept. I'm not sure. I think the first concern that comes to mind would be the user experience from that, because there would definitely be some interactions having to be made. Like, for instance, the person being recommended to the pool would already need a wallet, which the link would have to know about. Then mint an NFT based subhandle or virtual subhandle would be a transaction they'd have to sign in order for that token to end up in that wallet. So as long as that user experience, which on our end, the user experience is fine. All they would need to do is be redirected, and I guess it would would you guys already have a templated out subhandle that you guys would just distribute, or would you have them mint at discretion at the point of sale what subhandle that they specifically want?
Regarding, how's it called, affiliate links, I know that Jam on Bread as a marketplace built something like this. They have affiliate links in their marketplace. So that means if somebody buys or goes to Jam on Bread through my link and buys an NFT or sells an NFT too, I would get a share of their fees. I don't know how this actually works, but as I'm the receiving end, I don't have to sign anything. So they track probably the cookies of whoever is buying or selling an NFT, and I think that could be a solution to what you just said. That it's different. That, for example, you would have a sub handle to a stake pool that you mint from ADA handles, and if you have it in your wallet, you can register for an affiliate link, and then you start spreading this affiliate link that's registered now, and now the cookies would do the job. And if somebody comes through and signs the transaction to stake to your pool, you would know from whom he came and could do that job. So that would be my logic.
Anyway,
I'm very quick. I am on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm on my Apple on my iPhone, and it was all my settings. I had to get my partner to come in, tell me how to change the settings and all the rest of it. So, Dave, amazing to see you as always. My best friend who's a stranger, but we've
No
known each
longer.
other for quite a few years. Goose, love what Ada Handle does. Absolutely amazing. I don't know much, Robert, about Mynth, so apologies, but I will do a bit of investigation. Marcus, nice to see your face again.
Nice to see you again.
Dave, go look after the kids.
Exactly that.
Thank you, Dave, so much. It was an absolutely amazing talk. There is a last question for Robert. For your IDO, are there any prerequisites to participate? Same goes out to you, Dave. And I think Ada handle is quite clear, unless I have missed something on this. Just a quick wrap up, and then we leave. Let it go for today.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want us to do a quick wrap up?
So wrap up.
Regarding your NFT minting, is there any prerequisites? Same for Robert, for your IDO or for the TGE, was it right? Actually, are there prerequisites? Is it right pronunciation?
Prerequisites.
Thank you. I used to say development, and then somebody didn't understand what I was saying. So same here. Robert, you want to quickly answer that? And same Dave, and then we would conclude, unless somebody wants to add something.
If for us there's no requirement, so that's why we're doing the IDO. So up until this point, it's been quite difficult to get part of the Mynth community. Now it's basically open to everyone, as long as you have money, as long as you have some tokens in a wallet, you can buy in. And this is also the first time it's open to not only Cardano, so you can use 8 other blockchains. Of course, I think we are going to have a lot of sales on Cardano because that's where we've been building for the past 2 years. But also this is a way to bring Cardano to break it outside of its bubble and then bring this technology to other people in other ecosystems. So you can use MetaMask, Phantom, Trust Wallets, Eternal, Vespa, basically any wallet that you probably know of, you'd be able to use for the IDO.
Awesome. Perfect.
I'm just going to go in there, Robert. I would love to connect with you afterwards. So, Marcus, if you could set up DM on Twitter or whatever, because big part of the Squeak fund is farming and supporting liquidities. And I am looking for these combinations, ADA to USD in whatever way. So ADA to stable coin. So I know you got the Mynth stable algorithmic coin, and just look what the best opportunity there could be to benefit both of us, because Squeak fund is a long-term thing and it's long-term providing liquidity, and I think that can support a lot of people.
I trust it.
Thank you. Then regarding Squeak, we're gonna mint on the 20th of January, so in 11 days it is. Yeah, Mark, let's go. It's a super cute collection. The PFP already is integrated into a plushie design, so our hat out soon after mint. And all this together, as I stated, I want the Cardano community to squeak when they see something cute. And I think that's something essential, that we also have it the other way around, that the Web3 community reaches out with a brand into Web2 that's targeting the masses on a broad market, and that is this cuteness, kawaii branding that I want to develop through 2025 with Squeak. And minting one of our. We already have technical solutions behind Squeak. I didn't even mention that, the liquid NFTs, which is a faucet that you will always be able to exchange your Squeak for an NFT or NFT for faucet, as long as there's liquidity, which is something I really enjoy, and it's already functional. So yeah, if you're interested, join our Discord and join the community. It's a funny bunch.
And enjoy the vibes. Thank you so much. Tips for founders. I think stay positive.
Yeah, totally.
So-
Do my quick wrap up real quick.
Yes, please.
Well, first off, Robert, Abigail, best of luck to you guys with your launches. If there's any way I could help with the NFT launch, or if any way I could help with the IDO, please reach out. Would be glad to help. On our end, for ADA Handle, one thing before we leave, we're about to launch our merch store. Sort of a novelty, but anybody who wants Handle merch, or even a customizable Handle hoodie, where you can have your fully personalized handle back printed on top of your hoodie. That'll be launched here soon. And secondly, in Q2 of 2025, we are also looking to do our public sale for the handle token. We'll be releasing our white paper here shortly. If you don't want to be a part of the sale in terms of purchasing, all you need to do for the airdrop is hold an ADA handle.
Interesting. Awesome. That's a good information for the end.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yes, it was really interesting as usual.
Close it
Thank
out.
you.
Close it out, Davide. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys. We see you in the next event. We'll have a Pitch Fest next in schedule next week. Am I right?
And feel free to come at these two, even if you're experienced. Just schedule, sign up, and we share the link later.
Yes.
Actually, this would be a good one for me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stay in contact, Marcus, Davide. I
Yeah.
contact you for that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
We
We even have
we are all
Cardano.
learning here, so it will be nice also for us to see how people react to those events and how to get better in pitching our proposal, our projects. So you're very
Perfect.
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. It was amazing as usual. We see you in next month, I think, for next time Fireside Chat. Thank you for being here with us.